Now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the golden voice of Neil Rule. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. I'm apparently the most hated man in East Lansing. He's D-Mac. Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion. Joik is in the captain's chair as well, former Harlan Hill Award winner, former Detroit Lions great. We got Fish in the bowl. We got Sawyer in the booth. We got special deliveries that have come to the studio. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. But what's popping, guys?
What's popping with you?
Not much.
It's a good thing you only have one feeling, right? It's a good thing you only have one feeling because last night, a little bit harsh. The word homer I heard used in the Michigan State Oakland U game. But again, you made it very clear here on the show yesterday.
I told you guys it was going to happen.
It was going to go down, but entertaining game. I think it was tough. We were talking earlier, but obviously tough when you're Oakland to get down by 8. It seemed that they were playing from behind all game. But again, my favorite part of that whole game was watching the press conference after and seeing, it reminded me of the old Muppets looking up into the crowd and Waldorf and the two old guys. And you had Coach Campy and Coach Izzo, who we were talking about, two of the guys that if you had a kid playing basketball or developing, that just not only the basketball minds, but the leaders of men. Right, and to see him up there, and it's funny because as I mentioned to you, well, it's interesting to see them both up there and getting along and they're truly friends and stuff like this. But the intensity they bring when it's the court, because they both had a technical foul.
Yeah, he got heated in there
by Coach Campy, and you.
Well, I mean, it was a big time environment.
You called you had some good prognostications yesterday, sir.
No, and it's always blown me away. And Joik, I'm curious to get your take on this too, because I think you lived in this world a lot, where between the lines. And, there's 18,000 people in the arena, and emotions are running high, and everything's on the line, and everybody's competing at the highest level. And between the lines, everybody's so intense, like in the NFL. The second you guys step out of those lines, or the second that game is over, you meet up on the middle, and you guys are friends, and everything's cool. How do you guys do that? How is it run so hot?
I think I think we're at this point we're institutionalized.
Is that what it is? All right.
We get institutionalized, and that's kind of we get programmed because when when you're prepping for a team or you're preparing for a team, you're say even Michigan, Ohio State, when the whole week they see red, you're not allowed to wear red, or things of that nature. Things happen, and so when the game is over, like the mission is complete. And so now there's no more need for that hostility, until.
But you guys just you turn it off like that.
Yeah,
it's amazing to me that you guys are able to just go ahead and flip that switch to the point where you're battling again for the ultimate stakes. Mm-hmm. You're everything is on the line. You're so emotional. You're so locked in. And the second it's over, you're like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, great to see you. I hope your family's good.
Let's swap out the jerseys.
Yeah,
let's swap the jerseys out. And so that's what it is, man. Because while at the same time you understand this is a job, right? While and that's a part of being professional, right? All right, it's understanding that this is our job. We have to do it, and then when it's done, then we can kind of play a little bit. We can crack jokes. We can all meet in the middle of the field and take a knee and do a prayer together. Because at the end of the day, like football is what we do. It's not who we are. And there's always like a bigger purpose, a bigger calling. So
I think you mentioned a great point. I think the institutionalization. It's sort of like the military spec, or guys going to the military. You have to do it this way, and it's that respect that comes from before. You look at hockey, and you look at the playoffs, where, for lack of a better term, there's a 7-game war going on, and at the end. That's the sport you shake hands, and you see guys with scars and black eyes and have that embrace or whatever like that. And I think a lot of it's how you're brought up. And that's just part of the game. And I think that's the great gladiator part of the most physical sports, is that at the end of the game when you see that utmost respect. And at times, and this is my question to you, Joint, is when we see something where guys don't let it go, right? Where whether it's Tom Brady keeps John at somebody, and I just use him as an example, or a guy takes an extra shot and a penalty. How many times is that like a carryover from either another team, maybe from college? Do carryovers in football happen like that? Do guys take numbers? Because I know in hockey we do.
No, do you really, D-Man?
Something personal happened during the game or happened before the game, like some words might have been said. Sometimes you say things you can't take back. All right, sometimes you say some things that you can't take back, and sometimes in the game, sometimes things get heated. You see guys after the game. I can't remember who it was, but you remember, I think it was a D lineman or an O lineman. Might have been an O lineman from the Washington football team with who was that? The DB, the DB that used to play for Seattle, Richard Sherman. You remember that thing that happened on the field after the game when he got punched in the face by the O lineman. All right, and then another thing where Aaron Donald puts his helmet back on after the game and runs back out there on the field and confronts another opponent after the game. And something could have been said during the game. And sometimes we get to the playoffs and emotions are running high and you got things on the line. Sometimes, a little bit of trash talking might go a little bit too far. Everybody's built a little different, Everybody's built differently. And so, Can
I have a follow-up question to that point, right? So, like in playoff time, discipline's such a big part, but if you know that you can get a guy off his game or take a penalty, is it the same in football where you can push certain guys that are known that you can get them to blow their lid and take a 15-yard penalty?
That's during the game?
Penalty?
That's during the game or after the game? Because what I'm talking about happened. So what I'm talking about was actually after the game, but during the game, like we have these conversations in the locker room about keeping your head, keeping your cool, because at the end of the day, you getting frustrated and getting a penalty is going to cost the team.
No, I get that, but do you know guys on the other team that
you can push buttons?
Push buttons to, or do guys try to push buttons? Are there those guys? Because in hockey there are.
You know what? So I would tell you this. It's a guy, the center for Tampa Bay. Now he draws a lot. Like the whistle blows and he might push you for like a half a second past that whistle. And over time, it'll start to add up. And so guys will start to get a little bit upset because he's doing it.
And he keeps doing it.
He keeps doing it. And then all of a sudden, when it happens, when they get up, they tired of it, and they'll, retaliate. And they always, when I was growing up, my mom always tell me, when you get up, you react. They're not going to catch the person who did something to you. They're going to catch the person reacting. And so you have to be smart, right? You have to be smart, and that's one thing we talk about in the locker room. Well, good coaches always talk about it because we know this is an emotional sport, it's an emotional game. But if you can't hold your cool and be disciplined, and in my eyes, that's selfish. That's selfish.
Yeah. No, and I've heard it described that way. There is no question. But it's an interesting dynamic to me. And you brought it up, obviously, with Greg Campe and Tom Izzo after a very hard-fought, very emotionally charged-up game. LCA was rocking last night. I think there was, right around 17,000 people at the game.
And what would you say the fan base?
70-30, about,
Okay.
Yeah, 70-30.
And that's a pretty good showing then.
No, it was. And we knew it was going to be like, it's our home game. Like, we control a lot of the ticket sales and stuff like that, much to the chagrin, I guess, of a lot of Michigan State fans that might have been expecting something else on the television broadcast. And I know, Sawyer, as a matter of fact, that we have some of the more, the social media interactions.
My question to you is, do you see these as they're coming in? Are you following your Twitter?
No, because I'm working. I got too much going on.
Does somebody go, ooh, you're getting roasted?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and let you guys know. I could pull random people off this app, and they could announce the MSU Oakland game better than the dudes getting paid tonight.
But what's the most important part of that?
Paid.
What I tell you, Sawyer.
And paid by who?
Oakland
University, exactly. Here's another one. Oakland announcers finally admit it's over when they're down 10 with 30 seconds left, which we were down 8 with the basketball with 1:03 to go.
Still in it.
and just created back-to-back turnovers by Michigan State.
Yeah, but what would you know? You don't follow it.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, and I get it.
They are, even our boy Isaac getting
Isaac was cool. Just letting everybody know the game was on, the game was on Channel 20. And this other guy tweets in. And Stick gave me some love, too, and Isaac called me the king, and then some guy jumps in there and says, he's the announcer on ESPN Plus, too. If so, he sucks. But that's not all. There's more to that. This guy, Chris, tweeted in, says, it's a very strange listening to Neil Rule call a game and actively cheering against a team that employs him, but I'm getting excited by his signature of course call. Go Green. Well, Chris, I mean, I'm not employed by, and that's where people didn't know, right? They assume I'm working for Michigan State or something like that.
They figure that doesn't everybody figure that whoever has the most money controls the narrative?
Yeah. So, we had those. Jerry tweeted, said, I can also go without hearing of course anymore. ESPN Plus announcer, it's called MSU Michigan no less than 5 times tonight. I did that once, as a matter of fact, and then another time because we had to get to something else, so I had to cut it off and go. And then another time we had a mic drop out on it. So those are the little things, dude. People don't know.
People are nitpicking.
Yeah.
This is
this is probably my most famous. Favorite one.
I always look when people decide to share this sort of opinion. Is that first of all, okay? Why with the negativity, no matter what it is about, is that you got to have compassion, because how much does their life suck if they want to be negative? It's the whole thing. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all or change the channel.
Pull that last one back up again, Sawyer. The one we just went to. The ESPN Plus broadcast, the absolute worst. Announcers are trash. The score keeps changing, and the shot clock is exactly 4 pixels.
The score is changing. Why is the score changing?
So that's what it was out there. And again, I get it, I know, but see, here's the thing for the Michigan State people out there is Oakland has a local television deal in a top 15 media market. I know that Michigan State, might be the only one allowed to do those kinds of things, but they're not. We do have a local television deal. It is on network TV. It's available in over, I think, 4 million homes around the city of Detroit.
I told you yesterday that I was really proud of you. As you walked in today, I saluted you and said, here you come, Bobby the Brain Heenan, the heel. You got to play heel last night, Neil, and you did it well, because I was trying to explain to the kids in different ways is that, if you take it for what it is, I mean, people are watching. Thanks for watching.
And that's the thing, too. The Michigan State fans were mad because it wasn't on it was on TV 20 in Detroit, which obviously they can't get in Lansing. And it was on ESPN Plus, which the Horizon League has a television deal with ESPN. That's the way that works. So our content that doesn't get picked up by ESPN gets pushed to ESPN Plus because ESPN wants you to subscribe to ESPN Plus. That's how business works. That's how television rights deals work. That's the way it goes. Joik, there was a lot of hate in the streets for your boy yesterday. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all right, though. We move on. We did. We move on.
It's not hate. I don't think it's hate. Everybody loves Neil. Everyone loves Neil.
Real quick, Neil, because you got to see both teams head-to-head, and we're right around Christmas time. Just where does both programs go from here? Because, I heard Coach Campy say that in the long run, this is going to benefit our team. And we've talked about, playing tough games early. But what did you see? The bright light at the end of the tunnel?
Absolutely. I think for both teams, that Michigan State team is as athletic as I thought they were. When I watched the film and saw it all like that, and I see on here AC wants to know thoughts on Max Christie. Max Christie's got some tools. I think when you're a 5-star and you're McDonald's All-American and all that kind of stuff, I think expectations sometimes get a little too high, because when we hear that, we think of LeBron or McGrady or stuff like that. Guys that walk in and dominated, Zions and things like that, Banchero with Duke. Not every 5-star is like that. I was a big fan of Max Christie. The length, that Cade Cunningham length, you can't manufacture that.
Can't defend length.
You can't defend it. You can't create it. He's nice. In Michigan State, there was that moment where And for those of you who watch the game, the offensive goaltend on Michigan State, that was an offensive goaltend that they didn't call, and then Campbell got the technical.
Of course.
After that, though, the way I saw 5 stars get down and slap the floor and just how bought in they are to Izzo, which we know that, right? Like, that's how he works.
No, but you hear that. We're told.
But this is a 5-star dude out there.
But that's what we're told.
Locked in.
Right. We're told this, but you saw it.
But
the
you
eyeball
see it.
test and goes to the same sort of program. So right there, if you're a Michigan State fan, you should have confidence in the fact that you were there calling.
Especially, too, I mean, from what I've seen of Michigan, like this was supposed to be a walkover for Michigan or Purdue to win the Big Ten. Michigan State's got just as good a look at it as anybody else does. And I think for Oakland, they showed out well, and it's going to be what it always is. For a mid-major team, it's 3 days in March.
So right now might be the time if you wanted to put some dollars on.
I'm just saying, if you wanted to get in on Michigan State and say a future bet, here, I got quite the deal for you. Go to mybookie.ag. They'll double your first deposit up to $1,000 with the promo code Woodward. All the bets out there, everything you want to do, the parlays, the straight bets, the future bets, anything you want to get down on, you can get down on. That Michigan State team is going to have a very good look at winning the Big Ten. There is no question about it. The best part of it all, MyBookie accepts everything from credit card deposits to well-known cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, all of it. You know how it's going down like that. If you got any questions, reach out to Joik on social media. He'll steer you through the crypto change and the crypto policies and everything that. He will. He's got your back for that. They'll double your first deposit, as I said. Promo code Woodward. Everyone likes the UFC. They got it all for you, guys. It's really very simple. And you know what it is? Bowl season's going tonight. The Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Missouri and Army. Get down on it, everybody.
Get down on it.
Get down on it. Go to mybookie.ag today. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a problem gambling? 1-800-270-7117. That is the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline.
Big D. Big D.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Joik Bell in the house. Happy to have everyone along for the ride. Joey, 2 times. Bro, being an announcer is difficult. No, it's not. Like, again, I told you guys this yesterday. This was how it was going to go. And I'm fine with it because, again, Joik, the check clears.
Every check clears?
Every check clears, man. They've never not cleared.
And if you go for a job, they don't give it to you, what you going to do?
I'm going to hop in my car and go home.
You hop in your what?
Hop in the Range Rover and go home, man.
Hop in that Range Rover.
For all you enthusiasts out there, I did a little digging during the break, and both the Spartans and the Wolverines are plus 450 to win the Big Ten because, as Neil says, Purdue's going to do what they do and lose. But Michigan Wolverines are plus 2,700 to win the whole thing. Where the money right now, Michigan State Spartans are plus 5,200. Throw that $10 Grandma throws you for Christmas right down on the Sparties, if you're old enough.
Absolutely. MyBookie.ag. That certainly is the way to go. But I think that
actually it'll be 20 because your 10 will turn into 20.
See, there you go. Yeah, you'll have it lined up for you. But again, I think Michigan State's in a very, very good place. Saw it last night up close and personal. That energy, the want to on the defensive end. It's a Tom Izzo team. There's some dogs out there, man. They are. When you got 5-star talent too. And look, what's the knock been on Izzo? The 5-star. The top-level 5-star recruit. He's got one in Max Christie, and there's some dogs out there, man. And Joik, look, man, defending is a want-to business, brother. It's a want-to game.
So how do you like Gabe Brown, though?
Oh, Gabe Brown's we know what Gabe Brown is. He's nice. He hurt us more last year when we played at Breslin, but he had to last year. there was a lot more on his shoulders. There's a lot of assistance for him this year.
Okay.
So, I'm a big fan of that Michigan State team. Love what they want to do.
I mean, they're just putting points up. Who do you guard? They got too many scores.
Well, they go, man.
Yeah.
Because we're conditioned to think, right? Like in the Big Ten, it's playing Wisconsin and it's 19-13 at halftime. Right. This ain't that. Yesterday's prices are not today's prices with Michigan State.
It's not, man. Even MBJ is putting up 17 points that game.
Absolutely.
Here's what I noticed, right? And it goes back to our conversation before you went to Alabama. And when
we lost to Davison last night. Oh, man.
Well,
there was a couple upsets.
But I'm talking about at the time where we thought Alabama was, one of the biggest tests that Oakland would have. And Oakland went in there, beat them. Alabama couldn't figure out the trap. What you saw last night is talent, and when you have enough 5 stars and the speed and the go, Michigan State found a way to break Campy's trap, which isn't easy to do, right? And that's through talent and cohesion and stuff like that, because talent alone won't pull you through it. So, I mean, I guess if I'm a Sparty's fan, which I am in December, I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
it's a build. It's the build, and the build's right there. And now you're giving one of the greatest coaches in college history with the track record of the Final Fours and stuff. Now you're giving them some toys. You're giving him some of these toys that he didn't have. So, good luck to him.
Right.
All right. So did you go to the game last night?
No.
Oh, you did?
I watched it.
Oh, okay.
On TV.
All right. Because I had to text Neil. Like, Neil, I'm sorry, bro. I can't make it.
He didn't pull up on me yesterday.
I didn't pull up. Pull up. Oh
no, but and on the Oakland side, look, Jamal Cain was the best player on the floor. I mean, both teams. Christie's not there yet, but he will be. I was just happy to see, Jamal come out there, ball out. He put up a 20 spot in the game. He 7 of 14 from the floor. I mean, he's really, really good. If you don't know, get a chance to watch him because he's good. Like, he could be NBA good. And Coach Campy talked about that in the press conference yesterday, where he's getting a lot of questions about Jamal Cain and where he fits at the next level. And he's Pontiac kid as well, transferred him from Marquette. He's very, very good. So, as it goes, I like the way the setup is, and both teams, I think, are going to be okay. Joey 2 times. Neil's just being humble. It's a skill. No, that's that's the nature of this job, right? Even here today, 30% of the people are going to hate what I say, and they're going to hate what you say, and they're going to hate what Joik says, because it depends on what side of the fence you are. If you're a State fan, if you're a Michigan fan, if you're a Lions fan, if you're not a Lions fan. That's just the way that it goes, man. And there's nothing – when you go into a building, when you go into an arena, 70% of those people in the arena hate you. Joik, when you go into the football stadium, 70% of those people hate you. They want you to fail.
But that's motivation, though. And you walk into the stadium, you hear boo, and then you start playing, and those boos they go to –
nothing like hushing the crowd.
They're going to say, nothing like hushing the crowd. There's nothing like hushing the crowd. No, I'm serious. So you talk about them walking into a arena where it's 18,000 people. I haven't played on an arena on a court in front of that many people. I played in front of about 10 to 11,000 when I was in high school. I mean, we had some dogs. We had some animals.
Yeah.
We had some animals. We were pretty good, D-Mac. D-Mac was pretty good.
That's good. Well, that's the whole thing. That's the idea, was to turn Joe Louis Arena, 20,000 people, into the big house that made it feel the other team like it was 100,000, and then on the road, crickets. Unless, it always takes me back when you mention about on the road, it always takes me back to winning the Cup in '98 in Washington, when it was, what do they got, 18,000 in the building, 12,000 of them were Red Wings fans. I mean, it was crazy because we could do that. We could take over other teams' rinks.
Yeah, and it was, the hunger for winning the Cup and, the drought and everything like that. And it was a coronation because you guys were cooking Washington.
We travel well and transplants everywhere. Wing-wheeled nation all over this great country.
What's the capacity at LCA?
About 20-ish.
Yeah, probably just less than 20.
Yeah, a little bit less than 20.
874.
Yeah, it was very, very full in there yesterday.
Just pull that right out of my.
Very, very full.
You pulled it out your butt.
Dude, but I could have. Dude,
I
could have sold it like that was 100% true. It's all in the deal. It's just the same thing as last night. But the atmosphere, and I think that is it different, Neil? Broadcasting. I know I've asked athletes this, because shooting in Indianapolis or shooting in a dome, or when the court does to it from a smaller. Is broadcasting in a bigger arena different?
No, it's all pretty much the same.
It's because you're right on top.
So I got you. So the ice hockey, you're almost right. Is right under 20,000 at 19,515.
Oh man! Well, I sneak a couple hundred in every game.
All right. So basketball is 20,332 capacity, and then for concerts, it can range from anywhere from 15,000 to 22,000,
depending on the stage setup. What do you got? What do you got, Fish?
I was just gonna say the same thing Joik brought up.
Yeah. You had it. I like it.
Had it. We move quick.
Yeah, and you guys have had a lot of supportive messages on our YouTube chat. Remember, you can get involved if you're watching on the YouTube channel. You see that chat thread that's just firing a message every second. Jump in there, tap in, as Joik would like to say. We read some of those. Our social media handles are on the screen. I got my Quebec Nordiques throwback shirt on. Criminal. There's not a team in Quebec. Well, Bring back the Nordiques now, damn it.
The most disappointing is across from the hotel they had this dance club called the Dago Bear. You missed that out. See, I was lucky that I got to experience all the old rinks, all the Nordiques, the Hartford Whalers, the Winnipeg Jets the first time around, all these teams. But yeah, it sort of is criminal. You could probably pass for transplant Nordique, Quebec City.
Am I more Quebec City, or am I more Quebec City, or am I more Montreal?
You are so Quebec City.
I would agree with that.
So
That's more
Quebec
my scene.
City.
I get the feeling.
What is that? Like, what's the difference?
He put ketchup on his poutine.
Like Sawyer would be more. Sawyer would be more. Sawyer would be more Quebec City than Montreal.
Yeah, let's say
a little more rough and tough.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Little bit more. Little bit more, maybe they smoked the Player Regular and the Joe Louis and the Pepsi. Instead of the Player Light, they smoke in Montreal.
No, there you go. But they, again.
Hey, can I have one more reference?
Yeah.
It's like Saint Denis compared to Elizabethtown.
I got you.
Red Dead Redemption, right? It's
Loud
like Saint Denis.
Loud and clear.
Yep.
Speaking of Dead Red Redemption and games and everything like that, we're going to have an unboxing when we come back. We had a package delivered to the studio. We're going to unbox it.
Ooh-wee.
Everybody's excited here. I'm excited as well. And you guys should be too. We're going to recap the football and everything from last night too. Joik will break all that down for us. We'll discuss some Lions stuff as well. The NFL power rankings are out. We have a draft position update that we will get to. Tough win for Lions fans last night by the LA Rams. We'll get into all of it. Some news too out of the NHL concerning the Olympics, which is crushing to me because I'm a big Olympic hockey guy, and it's sad for me. What do you got, Fish?
Can I add one more thing before we go to break very quickly? Have you had a poutine? You know what a poutine is, right, Neil?
Yeah.
Have you had one before?
Absolutely.
Like a Canadian one or an American one?
Like a Canadian one.
Okay, good. Because I've had both. You got to have the Canadian one, though.
No
The American ones are good. Canada,
I'm stunned,
over the roof.
I'm stunned that we don't roll with gravy on our fries on a regular basis here in America. I'm stunned by that, with how good it is.
Well, also how American it is to just dump random sauces on food.
High-fat content condiments, yeah.
Look, hey, look at this guy's face right here. I mean, I don't know. Can't American. What do you want? I mean,
dude, can't.
I try my best.
Like people love ranch, ketchup, mustard.
Because you know what goes great with poutine?
Cheese curds?
$2 naughty.
Yeah.
Where do you get those? Hey. This is all about Sawyer today.
Yeah, absolutely. Neil Rule here for the Fowling Warehouse in Hamtramck. It's becoming one of the iconic spots in Detroit. It's home of the original football bowling pin game called Fowling. You can host a corporate party, team building event. We had our holiday party here for Woodward Sports down there. It is a great time had by all. You can take advantage of the unlimited open play option. You can reserve lanes privately for you and your crew to go through there. They got you covered. Multiple full bars, over 100 different beers available. And really, the star of the show, in my mind, the $2 mystery beer vending machine. You put in $2, you don't know what kind of beer is going to slide out of there. All I know is that Sawyer spun that wheel a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
Came away with an
We've been
old
winning.
Milwaukee, came away with a Pabst Blue Ribbon. Speaking of icons, two of the icons in the beer world. And you can visit them on the web. Go to FollingWarehouse.com. Check it out. Line things up with your crew. Get on out to the Folling Warehouse. You're going to have some time off over the holiday break. Pull up on the Folling Warehouse in Hamtramck. Get your foal on.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Joik Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty in the house as well. We're going to have Joik get me caught up with everything that happened in the NFL yesterday. But before that...
You got a package, Neil.
Yes. What? We have one here from package? Amazon.
Hey, let me hold on a sec. Do we all know which kid fishes at Christmas? The presents under the tree. Don't send them before Christmas morning, Santa Claus, because fish will be wanting to open them every single day.
Absolutely,
is he not
man.
that
He's
kid?
Fired up. But yeah, so we got one delivered here to the studio.
What is it?
It was for the toy drive. I believe this was our guy Robert Closia that sent this in. And you guys know we were talking about games and those types of things. And Sawyer came out of left field with a game that I had never heard of, and talked about how great it was. He talked it
Greatest
up and everything.
game ever.
We have an unboxing here to get to, and these are big time. I took the liberty already of like cutting the paper, so you guys didn't have to. I'd have to sit there and slice it with the knife, but I have not opened this all the way yet, and we are right now. Here's the gift that Robert sent out.
Come on, baby.
Amazon Prime. You know the
Pop. You gotta pop it.
Yeah. Oh, there's more here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yes.
All right.
We near it?
Here it is.
Let's go.
It's the Settlers of Catan.
Catan Junior.
Settlers
Junior.
of Catan Junior Edition.
Ooh, what else do we have in there?
Settlers of Catan dice game as well.
Money.
So a big thank you to Robert for sending this in.
We appreciate it.
And we're going to make sure that this gets over to the Mott Children's Hospital. There is no question about that. But there it is, Settlers of Catan. Sawyer says it's the best thing ever. So I don't know.
Have you ever played the Catan Junior?
No.
So it might not be the greatest game ever. Is it?
I mean, I'm not a junior, though. I only got introduced to Catan
a couple months ago. It's so big that they're baby stepping their way into the big game. By the time that they're older, oh my gosh, I can see an influx.
Settlers of Catan. Give me, again, for those that don't know, we were talking about games, and I was making fun of you about this one.
Yep.
And then some people really jumped to your defense in our YouTube chat thread. Give everybody the 30,000 foot again. What is Settlers of Catan?
It's just like, it's a 4-player game. You might be able to play with more. I'm not too sure. I've only played with 4, but it's just everybody like picks an area on the map where you start your settlement, and then the game starts, and as you play, you're gathering resources, building more settlements, trading for different resources.
So it's kind of like Monopoly.
It's like Red Dead Redemption without the gunplay.
Yeah, where you just got to trade up, and then at the end you get like awarded for whoever has the longest road, whoever I think has like the most settlements,
Settlers
and then
of
whoever like
Catan.
controls the map totally. So
Absolutely. Robert's coming in with some demands, saying I have to teach my kids how to play this game and personally deliver it to the Children's Hospital. We'll definitely get it over there. There is no doubt about that. And Robert and everybody else, again, I know we said this before, but real talk. Thank you guys. I was blown away by everything that you guys did. You guys took this personal, and it means a lot to me. I could tell it meant a lot to you, Robert. I mean, hit up the Amazon Prime and had this sent over to the studio. That's big time, man. You guys you guys are big time. So tip of the cap to all you guys for everything you did.
It's because it's easy to talk about it, but when you be about it, that's being
You're
about
being
it.
about it. And
That's big G
that's
energy
everything
right
I've
there.
ever said, D-Mac, is, and we've gotten into the discussions about some of the events of the world and stuff like that, and we talk about it. We don't do anything about it. Like, people did stuff about this. And, and again, Stick and Joey here, real talk.
Yeah.
Like, those guys were the engine of all this, man. They had such passion, such energy for it.
Take a second today and go anywhere your Woodward Sports Network and check out the video of them dropping it off to the hospital and the kids and what it means and and just being a part of that. And that's everybody's got their part, so everybody should take pride because of the way that things are. We all know that life can stink and go through it, and we all go through it at different times, but we're all together at some point. To me, that gives me the compassion for humanity.
Yeah, absolutely. And this community too, like the Big D Energy community, certainly. You guys were awesome. Travis Lampman, though, on a YouTube chat thread, Sawyer says overrated. Clap, 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 clap.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. There is no there is no doubt about that.
How does it feel to be treated like Neil Rule covering Oakland Grizzlies?
So there was some NFL action yesterday. I was not able to check it out. The one that jumps out at me, devastating win for the Detroit Lions as the Rams beat the Seahawks 20-10. Matt Stafford got the job done. The draft pick now, as we say, latest draft capital update, Detroit Lions sitting at 2-27-34. So not a death blow or anything like that, but disappointing win for the Rams for me. Because, Joik, I know you're friends with Matt Stafford. I know you root for him to do well and everything like that.
And he did. He's been playing well.
But he's not here anymore. And
but that doesn't break our brotherhood. So
absolutely.
Okay. So
no, I get it. But he's not here anymore, so I want as much for the Detroit Lions as I can get. So you understand where I'm coming. It's business. I'm about business.
I hear you. Like, so your issue isn't against Matthew Stafford. It's against the Rams.
The Rams outcomes.
So
strictly Rams outcomes.
I don't want the Rams to win either.
Yeah.
I just want Stafford to play well.
I got you.
And we had this conversation before. And,
we're common ground.
And last night he did play well. 20 for 29. 244 yards passed and 2 touchdowns. He did have 1 interception, but he got the job done.
Dude, he made throws when he needed to. Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
You heard of this guy?
Man.
Yeah, Cooper.
Gosh.
But doesn't it and you weren't watching, but when I'm watching this, and because of the way that he plays, I'm seeing Amon-Ra St. Brown in the same sort of role.
I thought that too.
Being able to be utilized, because I see a lot of similarities in the way they run, the way they avoid where they start in the line, and that's coming from a non-football guy. So, I mean, he made the touchdown throws. That was one of the games that they needed hard, and he came through at the right moment. So on him, like right there, watching at home.
If you watching that play, man, just look how he gets in back of that linebacker where his back is turned to him, so he doesn't know what Cooper Kupp is, and just making plays like this, all day. And so you look at his numbers: 9 catches for 136 yards.
He's a freak, man.
15 yards a carry.
Joy, has he ever dropped a pass?
I haven't seen it.
Yesterday,
I've never. Did he drop one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I'm actually glad to hear that, because it means he's human.
Yeah.
It means
No, bro, he never drops a pass.
I mean, you can put him in the same. You can put him in the same kind of stratosphere as a Hopkins. As a Hopkins. So Hopkins, he hasn't dropped a pass all year up until that last game where they just lost, and then also he hasn't dropped a pass in the red zone since 2019, and so I'll put Cooper Kupp up in that stratosphere as well. But like I said, the game started off slow actually.
Because I was getting the alerts on my phone when I was at LCA. And it was like, 3-3 going towards halftime or something like that?
It was like, LA got the Rams, they got a field goal in the first quarter. And then
Seattle's D-line was doing a nice job. Dunlop and those guys were doing a good job getting pressure on Stafford. But
the run game was still working for him.
Yeah, it was. But you know what I liked is, and it's the certain thing is we always talk about his toughness, but that throw that we saw that was the touchdown, is that he got whacked on that play too. And how many times we've seen him on his back with his hands up. To me, that was sort of. We're going to get you because you're going to lose draft position because we're going to win today. And you guys remember this? So that was sort of him having a little bit of fun.
Yeah, it's good. So that game right there all around, they finished strong in the fourth quarter, putting up 10 points, and the defense shutting them out in the fourth quarter with no points. And this, like I said, there's something special about Stafford. And one thing I will always ask you about, another quarterback that I will ask you, what's special about this quarterback? Like, what do you like about him? And you're like, I don't know. I just like him. I like he can make plays with his legs.
Jalen Hurts, man.
Jalen Hurts. And so let's go to his game. He did enough to win the game. Right? He did enough to win the game. He got the ball around. He was able to use his legs in difficult situations of the game. One thing I like about this particular game is that they had the run game going. You had Miles Sanders. He had 18 carries for 131 yards, and then you had Dallas Goedert. He had a great game as well with another 130-some yards as a tight end. Jalen Hurts had 2 rushing touchdowns off of quarterback sneaks. And one thing I like about it is the OC is actually getting creative, putting Darius Slay on offense, putting him in motion because he's become like the new, I'm not going to call him prime time, but, he got some hands. He can make some plays, and so they put him on the offensive side.
He got to account for him.
Yeah.
You got to account for him. Like
and
Joik, really, at the end of the day, like, people make a big deal about, that kind of stuff when guys come in and Wildcats and stuff like that. If you're an OC, you're just trying to make people account for somebody.
Right. Run that play back. Now, this is one pass that I can really, really respect from Jalen Hurts. On the run, and throws a dime on the back shoulder. On that back shoulder. This is an NFL throw.
There's no question. There's no question. People slander him all the time, and I don't get it.
Because it's not consistent. Right? If it's more consistent, then they won't slander him. Because yesterday he did what he needed to do to get the job done. Right? He did. Now, he had a couple plays out the game where he could have he could have made better decisions, stayed in the pocket a little bit longer. But all in all, he had a good game. They won the game, and now he's taking his team on with a winning record.
So we're on the same page as Cup and Ross St. Brown. When Jalen Hurts with what he's doing, sort of the Rodney Dangerfield, who comes to mind with him? To me, it's Tua.
Yeah.
It's the same. Yeah. They're dealing with the same thing. Now, same program? Alabama? Through there. I'm just saying the no respect, but at the end of the day, getting the job done, doing it, winning games. It doesn't have to be pretty.
Mac Jones in New England. We'll see what Bryce Young does.
I'm just saying that was my here. You read my mind leading into, because what are we looking at, right? Which going into the draft, which you brought up Bryce Young, which I'm looking at the lineage to go Hurts, Tua, Mac Jones, all out of the Saban program, which the quarterbacks never get the respect going into the pros. Is this about to change? I don't know. It's just something that popped in my mind because
you get the feeling it is starting to change.
Because it's about the W, right? And Jalen Hurts, I didn't think he'd continue. I thought he'd be replaced. I thought he'd,
You thought so?
I thought so, but not now. It's more like when I watch Tua, it's like they're going to find a way to win. You can't count these guys out. They find a way to win.
I got a question for you when we come back. I want to get your opinion on it because it's true. It's true, and I want to get I have to get your opinion.
All right, we'll do that. Well, let me give you my opinion.
Take a swig. Take another one.
Let me give you my opinion on Gypsy Vodka. One of the best, smoothest vodkas going today in the vodka game. Michigan's gluten-free vodka. Over 50 different formulas, countless taste tests, but they have arrived. And look, we always talk about the Gypsy. You see the Gypsy bottle down there moving? This is about, I think we got a Thursday night left in this bottle. I think this is a Thursday night. It is a Thursday night. Maybe if it were up here, it might be a Saturday night. But down here,
not tonight when you're watching the bowl game.
It very well could be the case. Some club soda, some ice, a couple limes. Boom, we got it right there. We had the owners of Gypsy Vodka in the studio last week. Great dudes to talk to, guys you want to get behind, and certainly you can support a local product with local guys from right here in the state of Michigan, Petoskey, to be exact. Corn distilled 6 times, uses fish artesian spring water. It is, guys. All I can tell you is it's good. I mean, that's it. That's not what I think. That's what I know. Whatever your flavor is, however you like to do with your vodka, feel free to do, and Gypsy Vodka is going to get the job done for you. Try a bottle today. Ask for it by name. It's Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Come on! Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw him, you would even say it close. Come on, come on! All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, come on!
Rudolph with your nose so bright. Won't you get my sleigh tonight? Little DMX Christmas for you boys out
guys,
there. Thank you, Sawyer.
It wouldn't be the holiday season. There are some staples, right? There's NSYNC, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. There's certainly DMX. Michael Bublé comes to mind as well. But DMX is right up there with all of them.
I love that.
He's right up there with all of them.
That came across my Twitter feed.
I always respected his music, but I wasn't the biggest fan. But I always respected his music, always. But I had a question for you guys, real quick, before we went.
Yeah.
Turn the music off. Here we go. There we go. Now this is real talk, all right? So you have for MVP, you have Tom Brady, you have Aaron Rodgers. We'll throw JT in there as well. Now, we throw JT in there. Do you think he's a bigger impact on this team as Cooper Kupp is on the LA Rams? Because he's in the talk.
That's a great question.
And that's the talk we have to start having, because some of the things that Cooper Kupp is doing.
You know what? You're right. And I hadn't even thought about that, Joey, till you just brought that up. Why is he not in the MVP discussion?
He is now. He's in the discussion now. You know, especially after last night's game.
Well,
after torching, he
set a team record. We'll put you on the radar.
Yeah, set the team record in 14 games. So he passed a lot of great. Not only did he set that record, but he tied the record with Michael Irvin and Odell Beckham for the longest streak of 90 yards a game receiving since the 1950s. And I think last night might have made 10, right? And so, it's great to have that. The irony of doing that with the guy who had the record on your team, right? Right. And so just to be clear. So he had 122 catches in just 14 games, passing Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce, who had 119 in one season. Doing it in fewer games. That's wild. And after the game, when they told him, you know what he said? He said, I had no idea. I had no idea I broke the record. And it was honor. He said it was an honor knowing the great receivers that's come through that organization. Right, and it goes on to talk about the record that he set. He tied with Odell Beckham and Michael Irvin, and then even he has some record that's up there with Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. So he got some records, man. He's doing some numbers, and he's making a lot of noise.
Speaking of numbers, too, Lee Key Sr. said in our YouTube chat thread, did I hear this correctly last night? Stafford's the quickest to 50,000 yards passing. Yes. Matt Stafford is the quickest in the NFL history. To get to 50,000 yards, and guys, be ready for it. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Even if he never wins a playoff game, he's still going to the Hall of Fame.
He is.
Here's the thing with Cooper Kupp about the MVP talk. We talked about it yesterday, because we had Brady and Rodgers, and we agreed to be Rodgers. But, with the way Cooper Kupp's playing, if LA is able to finish strong, win that division and stuff like this, then the spotlight's going on that. We know how it is, right? What have you done for me lately going to it? But now that nationally spotlight's on him, I asked you the same question I asked you yesterday when I brought up Jonathan Taylor. So now I bring up, is Cooper Kupp, does he get consideration right there by you, Joink, as MVP? Is this legit? Will he have a better chance of getting it than Jonathan Taylor? I got to think he does. I got to think this is a legit opportunity for a wide receiver to win MVP.
Who was the last wide receiver to win MVP? Look that up for us.
Fred Biletnikoff, maybe? I don't
know.
I know he was a Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, I mean that's a great question.
Yeah,
man.
when was the last receiver in the NFL to ever win the MVP at the end of the year? I don't know any. And you got to think, I played with Calvin Johnson.
Hard stop.
Yeah, that's it. I don't.
It says no wide receiver in NFL history has won the MVP award. Only 19 non-quarterbacks have ever been honored with that award.
And you got to think, if a receiver was even up for it, right? If a receiver was even up for it, the quarterback will be the one probably who will win that award, right?
Because no doubt.
Receiver. You see what I'm saying? And so,
but Cooper Kupp has done this. I mean, it doesn't. As guys have come and gone with the Rams, you know what I'm saying? Like receivers have gotten hurt or COVID or whatever. He's been one constant, man. Can we say that the Rams running game is less than? Is that fair?
Yeah, it's less than, but they're doing the job.
No, right. Because they're winning.
Yeah, Sony Michel. I mean,
well, you got the right guy back. You got the right guy at quarterback who's used to the running game.
Yeah. I mean, he's running. I mean, they rushed for 5 year old. They're leading. Sony Michel rushed for 5 yards a carry yesterday. So they're not terrible. That's pretty good.
On our YouTube chat thread, just remember, too, everybody keeps receipts. Joey 2 times says, Adam said Jalen Hurts will be out of the league in 2 years. That's right. Adam did say that, didn't he? He's spoken a lot of slander on Tua, too. Our guy Adam from the Morning Woodward Show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Speaking of heels. You and him could have a heel talk. But he's more Iron Sheik. I mean, he's just 100% all day long. Or MJF, either or. What do you want?
Yeah. Here's a question Patty Grimes brought up in the YouTube chat thread, Joke. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Will Matt Stafford go into the Hall of Fame? Because I think you and I are... Will he go into the Hall of Fame as a Lion or a Ram? That's to be determined, I think.
Well, I think if he wins a Super Bowl then, with the Rams, then he has to go in with the Rams. But if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, then it has
to be a playoff game?
Yeah, what if he gets to the Super Bowl?
What if he wins a playoff game?
Huh? What if he gets to Super Bowl? What if he wins a league MVP?
I'm going to tell you right now, he got that. He's just the quickest quarterback to 50,000. When I was with the Lions, he was the fastest quarterback to 40,000 yards.
Every number,
right? You know, every number. And so you got to think he had 4,600 yards. 46,000 yards passing as a Detroit Lion, and say he finishes with his career at 65,000 or 70,000. He has most of his stats with the Lions, and so I think wherever teams he has the better stats and whatever he values, more than likely is going to be Detroit if he doesn't win a Super Bowl with the Rams, because of his nature here. And don't forget, his career's not over yet, right? It's not over. Say 2 or 3 more years, restart the bill, and then Matthew Stafford's back on the market. You know, Jared Goff isn't here anymore. What if he comes back to finish the job?
Holy land.
Comes back to finish the job.
I like it. I'm about that. I'm
all about it.
Comeback stories.
You know, and then he'll still be I ain't going to say young, but he'll still be younger than Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers is up for MVP at 38. I think,
and Tom Brady's up at 45.
Right, you know, at 45. And so you got to think about it. In 3 more years, Stafford will be, 36? You know,
maybe that was a long play by Brad Holmes, that he'll trade him
and get him back,
the capital, and then when we're ready to roll, he brings them back.
Because I'm going to let you know right now, if Brad Holmes continue to do what he's doing here with drafting these contributors, people that are starting and going out there.
It's crazy for saying that, but that's what it is.
NFL players,
right?
If he keeps drafting NFL players,
he keeps drafting guys that can play, right? And that we can have 4 or 5 guys that he's drafting that are contributing out there on the field and making plays and being playmakers, and getting guys off the streets that we never heard of to come in off the street and continue to play ball. Like, this is a testament to the guys he has working around him. But say we start to build this team, and in 3 years, Stafford said, you know what? I like what Detroit is doing. I like what they're doing. I want to go back home. I don't know if we would do it, but hey.
But it's an option on the table.
It's an option on the table. Come back and get the job done.
Boy, then Brad Holmes will be the ultimate hustler then.
ultimate.
Get that draft capital, then bring the dude back to
bring him back.
Maybe they're playing the long game with it, Joik. Who knows?
It is a long game. When he came in, he knew it was a long game when he came in.
No, I'm saying like maybe they're playing the long game with Stafford.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
right. And so it'd be great.
That would be so awesome. That's my kind of move, D-Mac.
I know. Mine too.
I mean, think
mine
about
too.
it.
From a guy. Who
I remember
came
when I
back to
first
win one.
said that. I mean, I've said that before, right? And
You did. I do remember you saying that.
Oh, he must be drinking that vodka you guys have in back of the thing, and he must be drinking that gypsy vodka. I'm like, no, this is real.
It was Joik in here taking this thing down.
If you're talking that smart, you'd be on the D-Mac brand.
Yeah, but honestly, so do you think that JT is a bigger piece on the Colts than Cooper Kupp is to the Rams? This is my question to you. Because
I would say because
without Robert Woods, yes.
Yeah, and I would say too, because I think we can all agree that the ceiling's a little higher with the Rams. You know what I'm saying? Because that comes into play for everything like that. The Colts are great. They're a rock solid organization. What they've been able to do in the draft too, what they've done with their offensive line, and Jonathan Taylor has proven me wrong. I wasn't a big Jonathan Taylor fan at all when he came out there in the draft. What was it feel like for Colts fans with Jonathan Taylor? We'll go to the source. Sawyer's here.
I was excited, but a little scared at the same time.
So
kind
of
like
similar
what you said.
to what
You didn't really know what to expect.
I'm I don't know. Like he's a Wisconsin running back. Are those guys ever really dudes? You know what I'm saying? And that's where I was with it. But he's been electric. Those are great questions.
Hey, Petty Grimes said LeBron came back to Cleveland, got the job done.
I got a question for Sawyer. Where is the fan base's confidence with Carson Wentz? 5 for 12, 57 yards,
But they're winning.
No, I get it. So, but
it's amazing.
You know that once that stops, though, right? Like that's why the Jonathan Taylor train is so important to that team, right? Yeah. It's such a great question. I think both things are true. If you look at two of the most, you look at that, and then Aaron Rodgers comes to mind as who can you not lose out of your offense right now, right? The more valuable. So, time will tell. But would you say that that's probably the biggest comparable? But at the end of the day, Cooper Kupp is more a valuable player.
I think so. With what the Rams are doing right now and how they're doing it, I think so. I think if you replace Jonathan Taylor, if you replace Jonathan Taylor, you would get something. But if you had to replace Cooper Kupp, there's no way that whoever they put in there would be even remotely close to that level of output.
And you try to, I guess, compare Amon St. Brown to Cooper Kupp, and I would say yes, they have similar styles, but St. Brown has a lot more to learn about the NFL.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. I obviously would, but it's coming.
But how great is it?
Hold on, real quick before we go. My question for you is: when we come back, and it's about quarterbacks. And it's about Matthew Stafford. And I have somebody said something in the comments earlier that I want to get to when we get back.
Yeah, we'll touch on it for sure. And hey, we have you covered for the Detroit Lions game day. They're going to Atlanta. And look, I've given you guys the wins. We got to lock in. Starting this week, we got to lock back in. We all had fun, right, on this little run. They've won 2 out of their last 3. It's been a great time for everybody. But, guys, it's time to lock back in right now. And it's time to take care of that right there. That's what we have to do. We got to get this thing right. And we got you covered on Woodward Sports Network for the Lions game day. We will be live at O'Toole's in Royal Oak. Adam, myself, Braylon Edwards, Jade from WRIF will simulcast on the Riff and Woodward Sports. That's going from 11 to 1 at O'Toole's in Royal Oak. Brought to you by Jose Cuervo and DraftKings. And on the other end of it, the Lions postgame brought to you by Jim Beam and Truly. Stick and Anson will be downtown at the Brass Rail in Detroit. They start broadcasting at the 2-minute warning. They'll have all the fan reaction, all the fan interaction. There's DJs, drinks, a Woodward VIP section. There's food and more. Make sure you stop by after every Lions home game at the Brass Rail Detroit.
Thank you, Detroit. Because of your generous donations, this year's Stuff a Studio was a massive success. With the help from our friends at Meyer, Guardian Alarm, and people like you, we were able to send a massive U-Haul filled with toys to Mott Children's Hospital.
I thought it was pretty cool, but more importantly, my daughter had surgery at Mott back in about 2005 for brain surgery. They did a miraculous job for her. As a matter of fact, she's graduated from Michigan State on Saturday. You could never
Hey,
tell.
go green, right?
Thank you. And we really want to thank you. I know we're standing in front of this very large building, but when you look up, this building is full right now with a lot of sick kids that are going to be here through the holidays. And this team is amazing to make sure that they can at least smile during the holidays, and what you guys have done for us will make sure that we're bringing that magic into their hospital room. So thank you so much. Thank you.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. He's D-Mac, Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion. He is Joik Bell, over 20 touchdowns in the NFL, won the Division II Heisman Trophy as well for Wayne State. Fish is in the bowl. Sawyer is in the booth. We are on and going, and just kind of broke off into this in-depth football discussion. And we're going to talk about the Lions coming up in just a couple of minutes. But Joik has a critical question for me. Fire away, Joik.
So we had Harrison come. He came into the YouTube thread. He put out a good point, and this is a little trivia for everyone. Right? He said if Stafford was to go to L.A., win, and then come back to Detroit and then win here, he'll be immortalized. Now my question to you guys. Who will he retire as then, or go in the Hall of Fame as, a Lion or a Ram?
If he came back here and won a Super Bowl here, oh yeah, there's no doubt he would
Lions,
go in as
right?
a Lion.
And so the next thing is this: how many quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl with the team, right, and went to another team and won a Super Bowl? There's only been two that I can think of.
I'm drawing a blank off the top of my head right now.
You have Tom Brady, Peyton Manning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, duh.
So those are only two I can think of off the top of my head. But now I don't know a quarterback. There's no quarterback who's ever left a team, won a Super Bowl with another team, and then came back to his original team and then won a Super Bowl.
That would be something. I always forget about Peyton Manning, because the year they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning was the kind of dude in your class that was in your group project and never showed up to any of the meetings, and then got the A because everybody else did the work. And he got the A even though he didn't do any of the make any of the meetings or do any of the projects.
I'm gonna tell you what he did do, because I played with him. I know, and I know how he operates. He was an offensive coordinator. He made sure they only ran plays that was in the best interest for him.
No, and I get all that.
He broke down every single team defense. He broke down every player, and then he also demanded perfection from every player that played on our offense.
No, and there's something to be said for that, Joik. There is. I like to say that because
I know you do, because his arm talent wasn't there anymore. It was there. It was shot. But he even knew that, and that's why he retired. Now, was it his arm? Was it his neck as well? He had the neck issues, so he was dealing with a lot of injuries. The thing that makes Tom Brady so great is his longevity and his availability to his team and being able to perform at a high level. It was funny where they say, he can't run, he can't use his legs, and then he came back out with it was a clip he did where it showed him running, getting the first down on a couple plays, and like saying, who can't run? He was running really, really slow. He's like, what do you mean I can't run? You did not watch the game? But he was running really, really slow.
Von Miller was on a different level that year, man. He was a beast that year.
He's a monster, though.
He is, man. He's nice. There's no doubt about it.
I don't know how he goes like that.
Yeah. No, I don't either. Detroit Lions discussion, as we said, they are in Atlanta. They'll be squaring up with the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons a 4.5-point favorite. Jared Goff is in the COVID protocol right now. It's up in the air what his situation will be. I have not heard an update. It's not looking good, though. I'll say that. And so for me, you know what it is. You got to get back to basics here, and you got to figure out a way to lose some of these games coming down the stretch. Dan Campbell held court on a couple of different subjects. And Josh Reynolds is a subject I think that should be talked about more. And look, Brad Holmes kind of unearthed him and got him out of L.A., and Josh Reynolds has really, really come to life. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we've seen with Josh Reynolds' arrival, the team has played a little bit better football. I think we can all agree on that. And, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown has really come on as of – you need multiple weapons, right, Joik? I mean, you got to have more than one.
Multiple weapons?
Multiple weapons.
Weapons?
Multiple weapons.
Weapons?
Yeah.
All right, so it's funny. So I learned this. So have you heard that term weapons before?
Yeah.
Like the Lions, like our weapons here, we don't really have them. Like, you ever heard that?
Lions weapons. Yeah.
Lions weapons, so weapons. And so it was funny. I didn't hear that terminology until I came on this show with Sean Belize, and he was like, "Oh yeah, weapon." And he kind of explained it to me. I had never heard that phrase before. Probably because I was an athlete and I played for the Lions, so I never wanted to hear it. So
yeah,
right. And so no, we have some weapons here. No, honestly, we do. We have some guys that are coming along better than what we thought. Actually, we didn't think that our passing game was going to be there, and we thought it was going to be because of our receivers. Our receivers aren't playing too terrible. It's just you got to get the ball to them. That's what it's been, and you see where Jared Goff is on, and he's making those passes, that they're making these plays, and then they're making the most out of it. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that we don't need to go out here and draft more receivers, because I do have two eyes, and I know what I see on that field, and I know what I'm watching. But, I think we're in a good spot right now. We're in a good place. I would like for the Jets to win another game and the Jags to win another game. I want that number one spot. We need that number one spot.
Speaking of weapons, just like I'm reading in the chat, shout out to Riley Peterson for
Special Teams Player of the Week.
Special Teams Player of the Week, and first guy, rookie kicker since Eddie Murray to hit his first 7 consecutive field goals and stuff like this. And, that's when Joik was talking about different talented guys we've had in the past. That's the one thing we've been very blessed with is our kicking game here over the years. So hopefully this kid fills into the role just like Eddie did, just like Jason Hansen did.
And he's cheap.
Again, he's cheap. Neil, you were last segment. You were talking about drafting NFL players or having NFL players out there. You know what else we're getting into? Don't get ahead of yourself, but looking at a second contracts.
Well,
and
easy guy.
But I mean,
there's a lot for me to process right now, having rookies that play and contribute.
In all seriousness, though, but as we look up at the 14 with 20 left, 20
almost
games
that
left,
halfway pole.
It's right. You gotta. It's been ebbs and flows, stormy seas, but. The big thing is that I think they are building something there. And to me, it's not the wins and losses and the execution and stuff, but it is the mentality and watching things from behind the scenes and on different guys. So, again, I'm with Joik. I hope that Jacksonville figures out a way to win one for their new interim coach, and I hope that the Jets win another game, and you can have your locked up first pick. We can be Green Bay at the end of the year, and everyone
goes home happy.
I mean, we talk about getting a receiver. I see people hopping in the chat saying Chris Olave. Yeah, he's good. I mean, I don't think he's better than Jameson Williams. I don't think he's better than him from Alabama.
It depends on what you're shopping for, though. Yeah. You're trying to blow the top off the defense. You're trying to blow the top. You have more of an all-around guy. That depends on how they want to build the things. Matt E says, "Damn, Neil, put some respect on Manning." I have tons of respect for Peyton Manning, but you can't deny that Super Bowl he won with the Broncos. He got an A on the group project. That defense was incredible.
What he did there is what he taught them how to win.
Sure, right? and George brought up great points.
To everything else, being the coach, being whatever else, it was about that win. And so the motivation, and he knew himself that he had to ride that defense. So it was all about winning, and it was all about getting. Can you imagine if Eli had two?
He was great, great. I mean, he wasn't a great playoff quarterback. He was an average playoff quarterback. Don't look at. You can look up the records if you want.
What makes it? It doesn't matter what your record is. You won a Super Bowl at a quarterback. You got to give it to him.
No, 100%. Joik, look, Both things can be true here.
Both things can be true, but
Joyce, he was a 500 quarterback in the playoffs.
I understand what you're saying.
Joy, can't you see from last night being the heel? It's just still wearing off.
Adam and I talked before the show.
So if he threw for over, say the playoffs, he went out there. He was 90% completion rating percentage. He goes out there. He throws 12 touchdowns, but the defense isn't stopping anybody on offense. Or you're going to say he played great, but they still lost. They did still lose. They still did, right? But he won. You can't say he played bad because he played good enough to win.
He left me and look, he should have won at least another Super Bowl during his time with the Colts. Sawyer? What's the legacy there? Be real with me. Obviously, he's one of the greats, no question. But do Colts fans share my sentiment where if I'm a Colts fan, I would have wanted at least one more?
Johnny Unitas was better.
What's that?
We should have beat the Saints in, what was that,
Johnny
2010?
Unitas was better at the end of the day. Colts fans think Johnny Unitas was number one and Payton was number two. I'm just saying because at the end of the day, he came up short with what he had, with the weapons and everything. You're talking to a guy who's played fantasy football, have Edgerrin James, Marvin Harrison, and Peyton Manning, and just rack it up, right? But so the disappointment to that at the end of the day, to Joy's point about going to Denver and winning, doesn't matter how you play. At the end of the day, he collected the ring. So the ring he should have won, that we say he should have won in Indianapolis, he went and got it in Denver.
Clomp sauce in our YouTube chat thread. The Broncos defense dragged Peyton's dead body across the finish.
Sometimes that's what it takes. He won one as Peyton Manning, and he won one as Trent Dilfer. So there you go.
That's a great line.
That's what I'm saying.
That is a great line.
It's just
for me, if I'm Sawyer, if I'm a Colts fan, I wanted one more. And that Saints game, as you talked about, that one was a heartbreaker. The pick six changed everything, man.
Onside kick coming out of halftime too.
But the pick six is what buried.
I might have to wear my Manning jersey tomorrow.
But I'm not disrespect. Obviously, he's great. He's just not at. He's not at the all-time greats level. He's not at the Brady. He's not at the Joe Montana. He's not at that level, man, because he lost too much when it all mattered most. Am I out of line here? You're a Colts fan. Am I out of line?
It just hurts. It just hurts, to be honest.
The truth hurts.
Yeah, the center for Big D Energy chimes in. Spencer Raxter. Joe Flacco had the best postseason of all time. Joe Flacco way outshone. We're talking Peyton Manning was Trent Dilfer, not Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was on when Baltimore won.
He had a pop and note about it.
So my question to you, would you consider Peyton Manning to be the greatest quarterback of Colts franchise history?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Johnny Unitas.
Johnny Unitas.
No, with all due respect, no. Peyton Manning's ahead of Johnny Unitas. What do you got?
Would you call him the best regular season quarterback ever?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Would you call him the best regular season quarterback of all time?
I
think so. He was fun to watch. Like, he was must-see television for me back in the day.
Dude, especially when he's Omaha and when he's calling the plays before.
God,
and he's literally embarrassing your defense, pulling their pants down right in front of you as he's...
Too many audibles. He just had too many audibles in that big head of his. Too many audibles, man. I hated it. You hear me? I hated it. The playbook was easy. To learn those audibles,
we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get you caught up on Dan Campbell, what he has to say about a couple of different subjects, DeAndre Swift as well. We'll take a look ahead to that Lions-Falcons game. Some crushing news for me about the NHL and the Olympics as well. I'm very upset, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. Cade Cunningham's on the NBA Rookie of the Year radar a lot of nationally prominent people, all that and more. This is Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. But I'll tell you what, guys, I'm hearing that furnace all night long now.
All night long.
Click, coming on. You know, it's essential,
so
man.
You know what you need to do? You know what you need to do? Say it again.
It's so cold in the D.
Why are they trying to keep peace?
All in the time. I love it.
Start a new career in an industry that is always essential, and one thing that's not essential is singing for D-Mac. I'm telling you. To learn more today, go to northwesterntech.edu. I'm Joik Bell. That's Neil Rule, and that's D-Mac. The singing voice in here, and then you have Sawyer on the ones and twos. You have Fish in the fishbowl. Stay tuned. This is what? What is this, Fish?
Big D.
Big D.
I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, a mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Joik Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty here back in the house. Big one up, though, if you're listening on the radio on 93.5, The Roar, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2 as well. And don't forget, too, the podcast page, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast, get the Big D Energy podcast. Miss the show? No problem. Latest episode goes right to your phone. You can rewind, fast forward, whatever you want to do. You don't want to hear us talk about Peyton Manning. You want to know about the Lions? Fast forward, rewind, go back to the parts that you want to get to, and follow us on all the social media platforms. Woodward Sports everywhere. Popping off on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and again, you guys are doing a great job interacting with Woodward Sports. The numbers are amazing, and you guys have clearly demonstrated that there is an appetite for another sports outlet here in Detroit. The numbers are the numbers. I mean, again, Peyton Manning's a 500 quarterback in the playoffs, and Woodward Sports is a factor here in Detroit sports media. So thank you guys for all that. Did want to talk about some Detroit Lions stuff as well. Dan Campbell brought everybody up to date on the injury status of DeAndre Swift. Let's hear what Dan Campbell had to say about DeAndre Swift.
I mean, look, I still think we're taking this week to week, day to day. And there again, I know as of this morning, he's better than he felt last week. You know, he feels better than he was, I guess, Saturday when we worked with him. So our plan is to work him back into practice this week and see how he feels.
And that was Dan Campbell on DeAndre Swift. At this point, Joik, for me,
you're not hurting right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
what?
Wouldn't break my heart if we just said, you know, DeAndre, you're a vital part of what.
Shut her down.
Yeah, you're a vital part of what we're doing around here. Obviously, I guess it's up to DeAndre Swift, but you know where I'm going with this.
He's not about to sit out, and I know you saying, like, you know, we're trying to
build take
something.
The decision out of his hands. You know, like,
yeah, we'll sit him down. You're right,
and that's
it's not gonna happen. No.
Well, with a younger guy, you're gonna have to make that decision for him, and I would think that in the process, if it's something that they think would hinder him in the future, right? Like something that could be nagging, something that could release, and he's going to have that, then they wouldn't make him. I would think that they would shut him down. But as a veteran, they're not going to come. As a rookie, they're not coming to you going, hey, what do you think? Think you should play or not? They're going to make that decision. As a 5-year veteran, 10-year veteran, you're going to have a different relationship, and you're going to know your body, and the coach is going to come to you, and you're going to tell him. But it's just knowing yourself. Obviously, this is big too, because we've always wondered about the durability of DeAndre Swift. So how fast can he bounce?
It's still a question mark.
How can he bounce back? Can he heal quicker than most? Is it going to be a nagging injury? So these are different things that if he does play, I want him to be healthy and something that's not going to linger in the future.
You know what? So it's a unique situation there right now. You just signed Craig Reynolds.
Craig.
Just signed Netflix. You have him. Jamal Williams is coming back off the COVID list. I think he'll be back, and then I don't think there's any rush to kind of rush him back if he's not 100% yet. There's no rush. And so at this point, like they said, they're going to put him in practice, see how he feels, and then go from there. But there's no rush to get him back right now. I mean, right now, you having a running back that you just signed off your practice squad. He's been very productive. He's making a name for himself. And right now, he's putting it in the coach's hand and in the front office's hands to say, listen, what y'all gonna do with me? Because I'm a problem too.
And aren't you looking at that two-headed monster though, right? Because what I loved is Craig Reynolds.
2 or 3.
Okay, but I'm saying with just the fact they signed Craig Reynolds, and if you had DeAndre Swift back, the fact that how hard he runs downhill, or they have different toolboxes, right? Swift is elusive, side to side. You can throw him on the back. Reynolds runs angry. He reminds me of you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, pile on, boys. Let's keep going. So, it's easier
AC on our YouTube chat thread says, I agree with Neil. He is pragmatic. Lions fans are emotional thinking. And it's just, for me, what have we talked about all season long with DeAndre Swift, Joik? We're fans. I think he can be an impact player. But you got to be on the field, man. And it's getting to the point now where I'm asking those questions the same way I'm asking those questions about TJ Hawkinson with DeAndre Swift. Again, I know everybody wants to feel good and stuff like that, and certainly there's a resume, and he passes the eye test. But we have to take a look at this. And I know I sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth where I'm like, hey, why don't we just go ahead and shut it down? But why don't we just go ahead and shut it down? And then you look at next season as kind of a linchpin season for DeAndre Swift, Joik, where I talked about it with Zadina with the Red Wings. I'll be in that same camp with DeAndre Swift next year, Joik, where you got to show me, man. Like you got to show me. You got to stay available. Yeah. You got to be out there because the production is not a question. We know when he's out there on the field, as you like to say, he's a problem.
And he's still on that rookie contract, so even if he's not playing every game, he's cheap right now.
Absolutely.
He's cheap.
No doubt. But you got to start thinking about that with the advent of guys like Craig Reynolds and things like that. And you look at a guy like Brad Holmes that has proven he'll sprinkle some pieces in throughout that draft.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you have Craig Reynolds, you have Jamal Williams, you have DeAndre Swift, all in that backfield, say next year. We're not going to talk about right now. Just say next year. Everyone's healthy. They're coming back. This is what's going to happen. One of those guys are going to get fizzled out.
It's a numbers game.
We had that when I played. We had the three-headed monster. We went into the season with the three-headed monster mentality. It was me, Reggie Bush, and Mikael LaShore. And as the season went on, Mikael LaShore got less and less and less and less playing time. And it became more so like me and Reggie. And they started building the offense around kind of us and Calvin and Golden Tate and these guys. And eventually, Mikael was, barely seeing any playing time. And that's tough, for any guy to be a second-round pick and be a second-round brought to a team to be that guy. And now they're not seeing the field as much.
But here's the deal, Joik. You were on the field all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were out there. You and Reggie were out there all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
As I said before, both of you, 500 yards rushing, 500 yards receiving. Never been done in the history of the NFL for a season. So how's he going to play? You know what I'm saying? But you guys were out there. That's why.
Yeah, and that's why. So that's what I'm saying. We say they're going to go in with a three-headed monster, but if two guys have been very, very productive and they're working cohesively together, the other guy, right, where do you fit? Like, where do you? It's a numbers game at that time, and that's the NFL for you. I remember when I first came in as a rookie, and I didn't make the cut for the Bills. And I was talking to Fred Jackson. He said, "Listen, George, like you have a lot of talent, but I'm gonna let you know right now, this is gonna be a numbers game. You're not gonna make the team just because it's a numbers game. It doesn't mean you don't have the talent." And I said, "Dang." So when the preseason was over, and I got cut by the Bills, and they picked me back up on practice squad, I was like, okay, well, they must really, really like me to bring me back and pay me more as a practice squad player than the other guys. So I was thinking like I had the talent. But, it's going to be a numbers game, and one of these guys aren't going to be seeing the field, and when you don't see the field, you're not going to be happy. Why? Because you're not going to be making money. You won't be able to be marketed because you're not on the field. And so everything plays a part. When you don't touch the field, that means you don't get any endorsements.
That's the way the world works,
That's how it works. And so now you have all these guys out here who's playing, and people think, guys are jealous. It's not jealousy. It's more so just like, I'm working too. I'm putting in all my time, my effort. I want to get there on the field. And when that doesn't happen, then things like, what happened before, or things that happen to players who aren't playing the field, they get cut. They go back home, and sometimes they don't get another shot.
Yeah, that is the case
because they don't have any tape. And that's how it
And I'm
works.
just saying, too, D-Mac, next year, DeAndre Swift, he's 23. He'll have 2 years left on his contract. It's time to start asking those questions, man.
No, I think
this is the real world here.
I think it's fair, and here's the thing. You mentioned it, the eyeball test, and we know that when he's available, he's an asset. Make yourself available, because at some point when you spend more time out of the lineup than in the lineup, then they can't focus, like Joint said, on the game plan. He mentioned it. As the season goes on, with what's working, the game plan gets tighter and tighter. You look at this Detroit Lions team this year, Dan Campbell's taken over the play calling. His play calling's gotten better, or the execution, or the way Jared Goff has played. So all I can say, is the one thing is I hope that he's healthy, but then next year, right, is your time. It's your Zadina time. Swift will be your Zadina
next year.
But we're talking about football. We can talk about football all the time. We know that it's so cold in the D.
Oh, God.
But you know what's easy like Sunday morning? Lady Jane's.
Sunday morning.
Haircut for men. Easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, get the Lady Jane's haircut for men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite teams play, and before you know it, your hair is game ready. Get the Lady Jane's. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Neil Rule, Joint Bell, D-Mac, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. See you in a minute.
Hey. I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
No off-season for us. We're talking sports 365. Detroit Sports Network. Woodward Sports.
Coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Happy to have you all along with us. He's D-Mac, Darren McCarty. He's Joik Bell. My name is Neil Rule. Fish is in the bowl. Coming up just about 25 minutes. Everybody's favorite live read. You guys can all jump in. Everybody will jump in. Sawyer is in the production booth. Colt slappy, but a Colts realist at the same time. And, that's the way it is. And good for you, man. So, it's very, very sad news for me because I really get into Olympic hockey.
I was bummed out.
I really get into Olympic hockey, but it has been confirmed the NHL, the NHLPA have come to an agreement to not have players participate in the Winter Olympic men's hockey tournament in Beijing. And you knew this was coming sooner rather than later, and certainly the NHL in a temporary shutdown right now. They say that they will use the time for the Olympic break that originally they had carved out, because it would be, about a month-ish shutdown for the Olympics. Yeah. So what they're going to do is they're going to take that shutdown they had to make up the games that they've missed here. And I knew this was going to be the case. We all got that feeling. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. It's just, for me, D-Mac, I love Olympic hockey because, for me, there's nothing better than Russia playing Italy in ice hockey and Russia winning 8-1, and the Alexander McGillneys and the Burres and the Fedorovs and everybody like that, Ovechkin now.
Well, you loved it back. Yeah, you loved it. 'Cause
nothing
you
better than when Russia's on a power play against Italy, and the pass, the tic-tac-toe passes where it's cycled around and it's just bang, 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 and then it's in the back of the net. I love that, D-Mac.
Well, here's the thing, right? I think we've seen this coming. Obviously, when they started saying what the protocols would be out of China and stuff like this, you had the best player in the world, Connor McDavid, come out and say, yeah, that's no bueno, that's probably not going to work. So writing was on the wall. To me, this reminded me of back in the 80s, 80 and 84, the Olympic Games between the Cold War, where the Americans didn't go to the Olympic Games in Russia, and they didn't come here for the Winter Olympics or whatever like this. To me, in the first place, who would ever have the Olympics in China? I mean, not being anything else. But
well, that's a whole different discussion.
But again, to me, that's where it ends. So, I mean, if you were ever going to cancel it, it'd be it's tougher when it was in Italy, and it's tougher when it was in France. It's tougher when it was in Japan, and even to that point. But the way of the world, I think that with the NHL taking care of themselves in this year, I think, and the way like traditionally, and to your point, the disappointing part, and I know Fish is bummed, but nowadays, these teams, these Italys and everybody else, you want to see how they've matured. You want to see how they've gone, because what have you seen? The Germany kids, the Switzerland kids,
Sweden?
or whatever. No, Sweden was always there, Fish. But thanks. But these lesser teams, who are the players now? Oh, that's your back base and Mo Sider. On your point, right? These are these other countries where the Steve Yzermans and the different teams have gone in to pull these kids out of. So in saying that, yeah, the competition has gotten better. You miss it for the competition. You miss it to for whatever else. I know, from playing with Olympians. The 1 year when the U.S. and Canada played, and we had Stevie and Shanny and Chelly and Holly, and they're walking around with their medals. It meant something to guys. It does mean something, but the way that the world is right now, and especially health-wise, I think it's the smartest decision.
No, and there is, and I cannot like it, but I certainly can understand it and actually encourage it.
Right.
All those things can be true. Clomp Sauce on our YouTube chat there says, me too, it's like an all-star game with max effort. Those guys, hockey guys always go all out. Always.
But it's the same to the conversation we started the show with about when we were talking about Coach Campy and Coach Izzo, how there's off the court and on the court, there's athletes are different, coaches are different and stuff like that. It's just that mentality institutionalized, as Joyce said, or whatever it is. That's how you grow up, and especially when I've never played for my country, but I would think that means even more, right? Because you're representing, if you're Canadian, it's 30 million, and here that's 300, 400 million, whatever. So it's bigger than that, bigger than self, and I think represent country no matter what, Olympics or even World Championships and stuff like that, it's a big thing. Talking to Drapes, and he's played, he's won an Olympic gold, and he's played World Championships and malts and stuff like that. They love it, and it's always cool because you get to play with guys that you played with growing up or against and stuff like that, and like it's like an all-star team. Guys relish in that, just like the all-star games.
My question to you is, how does the payment work? Like, how much do you get paid? You get paid per game? You get paid?
Asking the wrong guy. Wouldn't know. No, I don't know how that works. I was gonna say.
But you have friends
I was gonna
that
ask Neil is it possible that the IOC, the International Ice Hockey Federation, or the Olympic Committee or whatever, is there a guy on their committee that runs an energy company? Because seriously, the International Olympic Committee runs itself like the NCAA does, where it doesn't care about the athletes or whatever else. To your point about compensation, not enough.
Yeah,
that's all around. I know that's even in track.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
My understanding is that the Olympics will cover the insurance policies for the guys. That's my understanding, and I don't know. I know we got a couple of people who are agents that watch the show. Maybe they might have some better understanding of it than me. My understanding is that the IOC will pay for the insurance during the time that they're playing. My understanding is that they are not played because the league is halted, so they're not getting paychecks.
Right.
So they're doing it because they want to go do it.
And if they get hurt, then oh well.
Well, they got the insurance that's covering it, but as we found out, the insurance never really fully makes you right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're not paid. Joey shaking that head right now.
You're doing it for your country, though.
You're doing it for your country.
They hit you with that. You're doing it for your country.
Would you do it, Joey, if there were Olympic football? If football were in the Olympics?
What are they paying?
They're paying for your insurance policy.
No. And that's exactly why they don't have football in the Olympics. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous.
But D-Mac, you would have went in a second, wouldn't you?
Oh, what? Now
football? No.
No,
back in the day
for Team Canada.
Wait, to China?
Yeah, no, I'm saying just in general.
Oh, in general, yeah.
For hockey or football?
For hockey, I mean.
Yeah, for hockey. And I you wonder what I'm doing over here laughing. I had to check out the dictionary. I didn't know what girl-cotting was, but it's the same as boycotting. So you got me. I popped, Rich. Thanks, bud. Yeah. But no. Yeah, I would in a second. Yeah.
And
dude, that would be the ultimate.
You don't care about the money, just
No. But we're talking about me. We know that I don't have any relativity to what a dollar is. Never have. So it's the whole thing about playing. Yeah, I'd be more interested in what the gift bag was.
And the gold medal and,
right,
and all
somebody
that
else
stuff.
take care of the bag.
Yeah.
I just need the internet to work, man.
The Skipper Sonny says, Neil, we're going to get up at 3 a.m. to watch those games on Bravo Network. Yeah, I'll be texting Fish the whole time, man. Fish should be having Bravo down. No, there was
I'm
nothing
gonna let
better.
you guys in on a secret. Fish and Neil were actually talking about doing an Olympic broadcast sort of thing, coffee time with Fish in the morning, because those two in their robes watching Olympic hockey.
No, but there's nothing better than Russia, Kazakhstan, and the bigger the blowout, the better for me.
Right? It goes deeper when all those countries of the former Soviet Union play each other.
I don't even care about that. I don't even care about that. It's just the Russians out there trying stuff they would never try in a real game, and when they pull it off, it's incredible.
Oh yeah.
Because they're up 8-1. It doesn't matter.
Stuff like this. I think that, you know what? But here's the one thing, and I don't know if it transcends in all sports, but internationally, especially in hockey, the talent level has gotten so much tighter because kids are they're learning at a younger age, and so these countries are having these programs. And I look to our former assistant coach Dave Lewis, who's worked with the Belarus program for a long time. So there's influence, NHL influence, and stuff like this to some of these countries where it's not just your regular back in the day, your U.S., Canada, Russia, Sweden, right? Finland maybe. Right now there's other teams that have chances, and you see that because it's a world game.
Right, it is. And, getting into the politics of it, that's a different show. And why are they in China? And we all know some of those answers, right? I mean, there are Colombian drug cartels that are cleaner than the Olympic Committee.
Whew. That's and that's people might say, "Come on, and it's like, do your research. There's always an investigation going on to a payoff in either FIFA or the
FIFA
IOC.
and the IOC,
FIFA,
man.
the IOC.
The biggest Bolivian cocaine cartel looks at FIFA and the IOC and says, "Man, those guys are dirty." what do you got, Fish?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of politics to it, but the easy answer is no one bidded on the 2022 Olympics. People forget that. Beijing was the only bidder because all the other countries, Kazakhstan and a few others, they pulled out before. So they're like,
because they're not dealing with the IOC and you look at what they require.
Yeah.
And Greece had to do it. They're building a softball stadium that they use for 3 months, and then the softball stadium still sits empty.
But they
to this
do it
day.
now where they're recyclable. Like Tokyo had it where they were all recyclable, so now they can just recycle all the stuff and use it for the better of Earth.
Yeah, but again, then you have to go through the whole process. It's like hosting a dinner party, or who's coming up, who's hosting Christmas. Where do you go for Christmas? That's a whole ordeal, from cooking to organizing, who's coming in when, different things like that, the stresses of it. Think about your whole country has to sort of shut down and entertain the world. So it's a big task, and I think that over these past few years, and I think to your point, Neil, is that countries don't want to deal with the BS that they have to deal with, because as laymen who don't follow except every 2 years, now that they've switched, it used to be every 4 of the Olympics, when does it come across the front of you? You don't know what's going on every day, but every day it's to your point, the cartels want to wash their hands
of the IOC
when they talk about the IOC.
Those guys are dirty. Juices Ghost says, "LOL, damn, Neil." Lions Rumble, Neil, when you're right, you're right. So, no, it is, and that's another instance of it, right? And we talked about it yesterday, where I think we're seeing the day where the unionization of college athletes and everything like that, the Olympics has become tainted. We're on a very dangerous trajectory right now. It with all the sports, man, we're on a very dangerous trajectory. That's all I'm saying.
I look at it, and it's frustrating, and we've been talking all week or whatever else about, no matter what, just make a decision, come out, be transparent and stuff like this. I give the NHL, and I'm the hardest critic on Gary Bettman for ruining my game, but the fact is that they have this month, right, so to speak, of this Olympic, that they can sort of get back on track and use that where there isn't a athletic competition imbalance. Does that make sense?
No, it
right?
does.
Because what are we talking about with the NFL, right? the guys that are missing. You don't have the right roster. You know, Baker Mayfield misses in the Browns' biggest game of the year. Stuff like this, the competitive imbalance. So hopefully in the NHL, as it comes down after the Olympic break, this gets all through, this Omicron, whatever it is, and we're back. So when playoff times hit, the right teams are in.
We had one in here, and I was going to let this roll when Fish said it. I was just going to let it go, and I was going to, but I can't because somebody brought it up. AC, Fish, those stadiums aren't recyclable. And Fish, I was going to ask you, take me through the process of a recyclable stadium.
I mean, you got to talk to Tokyo about it. I mean, they had the beds that were recyclable that people were all getting mad about because they couldn't do the things they wanted to do, and the
beds are recyclable, yes.
Beds, not the stadium.
No, I know. Well, I'm told that they do something with the stadium.
He was told, Neil.
Like,
hey, I was
maybe
told.
the stadium itself aren't recyclable, but they're able to use the stadiums for other things. So maybe they use it as a hotel, or they use it as an apartment building, or they can build houses from that. So they're using the stadiums for other things that are not for stadiums.
Fish,
have you done any research on
Fish, do you feel it slipping away right now?
Have you done any research on old Olympic grounds over the course of, say, the last 30, 40
I have.
years?
That's why Japan's changing it, because they've seen what's happened in Brazil and London
and Athens
and Greece. So Japan is changing that narrative.
Can we leave it at this? Captain Dylan Larkin says it the best. It would be a shame to get stuck in China. Mic drop.
Yeah, that certainly plays a big part of it. We'll take a break. When we come back, Cade Cunningham being discussed as a Rookie of the Year prospect. I do want to touch on that because it's been a tough go for the Pistons, but Cade Cunningham certainly has been warming up as of late. We will discuss coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network.
I'm Cade Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
Well, that's not winning, Joy.
It's Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Joy Bell, Darren McCarty here with you. Fish is in the bowl. Fish and his recyclable stadiums in the bowl. Sawyer Settlers of Catan is in the booth as well. And we'll make sure, speaking of that, Settlers of Catan, we'll make sure that gets over to the Mott Children's Hospital. Been some discussion. ESPN's Mark Spears has come out and said that Cade Cunningham is an NBA Rookie of the Year candidate. And you know what? I mean, it'd be hard to disagree with that. Certainly with the turnaround. And look, Cade got off to a brutal start. Just a brutal start shooting the basketball. And over the last couple games, has kind of, I guess you want to say, take a step back just in terms of shooting the basketball. He was 2 for 13 last night in New York. You're going to have those ebbs and flows, certainly, with a rookie. No rookie has ever come into the NBA and just straight been dominant every single game all the time. But the Pistons fall last night to the Knicks. And, you know, just a real quick update of the numbers. Cade's at 18 points a game, 6 boards a game, 6 assists per game. Got that three-point percentage. Got that three-point percentage up, shot 40% from behind the three-point line in the month of December. And that's more where he is, and that's more what we've seen. But I'm curious to get your guys' take, because he said all the right things, Joy. When he's talking to the media, you love the line where he talked about how he's never going to normalize losing. No matter how many games they lose, he's never going to be comfortable with losing. And while some people have come out and said maybe he's not a guy you build a franchise around,
yeah,
but he is certainly an all-star caliber player. And more than that, Joy, he looks like he can be a leader, because you do need both.
You need both. I forgot, it was a Piston great who said that Cade Cunningham is going to have a great career. He's going to have, I don't know if he said it was going to be a Hall of Famer career, but he said he's going to have a great career.
Dave Bing, yeah.
Yeah, Dave Bing. But this is not going to be the guy that we're going to build a team around, but his mentality in which he plays the game is what we need to build around, more so than his athletic ability. I like him as a player. I like his leadership. He has great leadership to be so young. And it has a lot of attributes about himself that I've kind of seen over the course of his time here that I'm like, wow, okay, this guy really is a leader. Even though he might be one of the youngest guys on the team, he's one of the leaders of that team.
Two things. Maturity from day one. Obviously, go back to that clown. Are they talking about that clown, Jalen Green? No. Right? So it's in the MVP, and it doesn't matter about that because it's maturity. And I disagree because what I see here in a little bit different way is a lot of young in what I've seen in Dylan Larkin. As far as you need that stability, that stalwart, but just like Steve Yzerman realized back in the day, right? You need that flag planted. And I believe Cade's your flag. And then you bring in the assets around him. Just like Dylan Larkin is the right guy to lead this Red Wings team, and now you're bringing guys in around them. So if you look at LCA, I think the Pistons are a year or two behind what the Wings are doing because it's drafting guys in. One of the things yesterday that you see, and you don't follow the record, but they showed on social media, if you look around, the shoot-around, MSG. Probably first time some of these young kids have been at MSG. And you look at to me, you draw the comparison of the young leadership with Cade Cunningham with what Dylan Larkin's doing, but I also look at the camaraderie in the dressing room that I don't know the Tigers, but I know the Wings love to play with each other. We saw the Lions, we focused on that too. And from what I saw from MSG in the shoot-around, these guys like each other. They just don't have the talent. So I disagree. And I think he is a perfect guy in this day and age because you need the maturity and you need, when it comes down to it, imagine this kid 2 or 3 years from now when he is, 23, 24?
Right.
And to me, he's going to have that calming influence where everything's good. Because what do we notice so far in his young career? When the lights get brighter and the game gets tighter.
He turns up.
What else do you want in your guy like that? So figure out how he... To the pro and how it's going to work out with the guys around him. And I think that's what Dwayne Casey and even more important, Troy Weaver see.
Yeah, so, I mean, we still got a lot of basketball to play. And you still got guys that's in front of him. You have Evan Mobley. You still have Scotty Barnes. So these guys are playing right now at a high level.
Evan Mobley's a betting favorite right now to be the Rookie of the Year.
Right.
He's slightly ahead of Cade Cunningham. Right. He's been great. And Cleveland's been right around 500.
Well. He's shooting well. He's 47% from shooting. Yeah. So he's playing well right now. And so, I mean, it's gonna be tough. it's gonna be a close call. But I'm telling you right now, Cade continue to play the way he's been playing, averaging 16 points a game. I think 5 assists, 2 steals a game. And so he keeps playing at this level. I mean, and he keeps improving with his shooting. I mean, it can be up in the air. Like I said, still a lot of basketball to be played. It's still early. Right now, their focus shouldn't be on Rookie of the Year. It should be on making the playoffs, right, or getting better as a team. Now, I don't know what the Pistons are thinking right now because they're in the restoring phase. So I guess the only thing for them to really do is to continue to be a leader on the court, continue to get better, build that chemistry, and then whatever happens at the end, happens at the end.
Yeah, and Mobley right now is a 14-point, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 33% three-point shooter. I mean, he's been good. He's been very good. And what's been more impressive about what he's done for the Cleveland Cavs is just the fact that they're not the doormat that they used to be. I mean, he's proof where he's not necessarily a savior. I don't know that there was a franchise savior in this draft, but they're 19-12, man.
And he's playing center.
Yeah.
Right? Which, how many centermen do you have in this game anymore? Usually it's just, the top 5 talented guy. I mean, he's doing the job. If you're going to put a vote right now, Mobley wins the MVP in my book. It's just the fact that we see this maturity with Cade Cunningham. We see him working on his game. We hear the things. Here's the thing. What did I say about, right? Just like we're talking about our listeners, and we're talking about all the toys that we gave to Mott, not talking about it, being about it. That's what I see out of this kid, and that's why I say he is the right guy, just like Dylan Larkin is.
Yeah. Your boy Jalen Green, huh?
I call it karma. You can't mess around like that. You know it, man. I want to give Kate a hug every time I see him. Every time I see him, because it's just you have to feel better. Don't worry about the wins and losses. Every time that they lose, be grateful you don't have that clown.
Sure.
You want have my true feelings?
Lions Rumble says the Cavs are an injury away from being irrelevant. Lots of NBA teams are, depending on who's the one
especially in the
that
East.
get injured. Yeah,
the East is still it's a joke.
Well, you know what though?
It's getting better. It's getting.
I got in this discussion with somebody. I was actually on a basketball podcast, and we were talking about that. And this was at this was at the top of the hype train. You know, the Cade Cunningham. Well, the Pistons, are they going to challenge for the playoff spot? And I just started breaking it down. I said, all right, who are they better than? Are they better than the Brooklyn Nets? No. The Bulls? No. The Cavs? No. The Heat? No. The Bucs? No. The Pistons. Are the Pistons better than the Nets?
We beat
the Bulls?
We beat them.
Okay.
All right, we beat them. I'm just saying. You say we're not better,
okay, so you're better than the Miami Heat, according to Joik's logic. Okay, that's one team that you're better than. But, I mean, you go down the list of the teams in the East. Even before the season started, you're checking in at 10 or 11. You know,
Hey, you know what?
They weren't there.
This is why Chuck always nails it, right? You're talking about it. Let's wait. You know how I have this the Lions clock? How about the Cade clock? Here's the Pistons clock. When Cade gets his man body, right? When Cade develops into the man, right? We're just like we've seen LeBron go from the boy into the man, develop into that size. Is sort of he's got development. We forget how old he is. He's still coming into his own, working on his game.
I don't want to compare Cade to LeBron. LeBron was like a generational talent.
But can you compare the size
the
of
body
him
types,
the body types when he came out? I'm not comparing his game. I'm comparing. You could see when LeBron came out of high school in his first few years that he didn't have his mature man body, right? Not his game, not anything else. Muscles, right?
I don't know. He came in the game wreaking havoc. Brian came in the game wreaking havoc.
Joy, that wasn't my. What did his body look like?
His body.
Don't make me get Sawyer to pick up a.
Bring it up. He wasn't a small guy when he came out.
He wasn't developed. Did he have his man body coming out of high school, Neil? Did you see
not
it
to the degree it is now.
Kobe developed into that too.
Everybody did.
Bring it up.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you can't find it just like that.
No, he got it already. But don't pull up a high school picture now.
Did he get drafted out of high school?
He got drafted out of high school.
No,
man.
I know, but his first year, I want his first rookie year. I want his rookie year pick up there. His rookie year pick. And like you said, he didn't have his man body, but he wasn't a small guy.
I didn't say he was small. Cade's not a small guy. What I'm saying is the whole thing is that development not only is skill, let your body. And
but here's the deal too. Like when LeBron came in the league, his rookie year, like that was his body.
LeBron's built more like a football guy.
Yeah, even then he was 20. He was 21 points. He was 5.5 rebounds. He was 6 assists. He shot 29% from three. And 43%
and you know he was
from the
young.
floor.
I know you can see. Go back to that last picture because you know he was young there because he got look at his hairline. So you know it's a young picture. Look, man, he got veins popping out. That's
no doubt, but he ain't nowhere near that like he is now.
So pull up a picture of him now, or when he went to Miami. I'm just saying there's a difference. It's part of developing your talent, but also too at 20 years old.
Yeah, there is no question about it. But you know. LeBron didn't come in like he had some nice games and things like that, but even him, there's not a huge difference.
Lion Rumble 81. He needs some milk. That was good.
So that look at that. Look at the difference in thickness.
It's tattoos. It's the tattoos.
Look at that. That's one of those things is not like the other.
Yeah, he got a beard in one and doesn't have a beard in the other.
Really? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that arm sleeve.
He looked like a guardian right here. He looked like he's guarding something right here. Like he's guarding the rim or something.
Well, you know what? Not in that picture, but in the big picture, he probably works for Guardian Alarm because Guardian Alarm gets it, guys. A good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features like you checking on your home, control your lights and temperatures, detect smoke, and even that silent killer, carbon monoxide. So if you want to be part of the Guardian Alarm family, I need you to call 1-800.
Stay out.
That was garbage.
It was. Start over, man. That was garbage. Here, I'll hop in. Come on.
All right, one more time.
1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Give it to me one more time for everybody in the back going into this holiday season. As Santa's coming down, they do have a Santa special alarm, kids, so don't worry. He will not set it off. 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house. Stay out of there. Enjoy
the
Christmas.
best holiday, Boxing Day.
Eat the cookies.
That was better,
And
Fish,
milk.
but I'm disappointed. You
Boxing
mailed it in
Day.
today.
He
Guardian
needs
Alarm,
some
trust for
milk.
over 90 years to keep families safe. Guardian Alarm, your local
I have a
security
Boxing Day
experts.
shirt.
I love it.
Fish
50
needs
Energy
some
will be
milk.
right back. Close it up. Neil Rule, Joint Bell, D-Mac.
He needs some milk.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
The pros know. Go! Listen Monday through Friday for Big D Energy live on the Woodward Sports Network with Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the silky voice of Neil Rule.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Joik Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Fish, and Sawyer. Fish taking some heat here today. Dom Rivera 88 on our YouTube chat thread says that was Fish's segment, and he blew it with a capital blew it.
It's all right. You
Fish.
know what it is?
All caps.
It's because he wanted, you know what? Fish is a flair for the dramatic. He wants to come back strong tomorrow.
Yeah.
Going into Christmas.
Between that and recyclable stadiums, Fish.
I don't know.
Well, okay.
You might need some sleep.
They're
Were you up early watching, previewing something?
I was
listen
not,
to
but I
Tommy
will be
Brown.
over the next 5 days.
Well-
You know what I meant. They're not recyclable stadiums, but they're using the stadiums. They're building the stadiums for other events other than the
Reusable
Olympics.
stadiums.
Multi-purpose.
Reusable stadiums.
Multi-purpose stadiums.
but not really multi-purpose stadiums because they're probably not. There's probably not stadiums now. They're like hotels,
Motels,
apartments,
Holiday Inn.
motels.
Motel, Holiday Inn.
The point is that they're using it for the gooder of the
gooder?
country
The
and
betterment.
the state.
The betterment of the country.
the city.
The city, the better.
Love
Okay.
it.
Don't worry,
Okay.
Fish. Everyone still loves you,
To
though,
bring
man.
more of
Don't
that,
worry.
you know.
Everyone's got mad love for you.
So like now,
They make it-
Tokyo's a thriving city. It's like, oh, the Olympics were at the hotel.
I want you
in
thinking
Stanley.
about it tonight, Fish. You got to come back strong tomorrow before the break.
Yeah, final show. We will not be in on Christmas Eve on Friday, so we will not. Tomorrow will be the final show,
gonna
and
ask you that.
we're gonna get into some Christmas discussion. You know, some of the best gifts we ever got, some good Christmas stories, whatever you guys got. We'll chop it up. I got a couple meal questions about Christmas as well.
I got answers.
And my eyes said gooder.
Hey, Joy, quick question. I seen it run through. How's your sister doing? Everything okay?
You know what?
family?
She's doing good. She's actually driving up here tomorrow to her and her boyfriend are driving up to Ann Arbor tomorrow. They have some more tests ran, and the good thing is the body is not rejecting the kidney. Her numbers are going down every time she tests, so that's a great sign. So we're looking and hoping and praying that the next couple of weeks she'll be off of dialysis completely forever, and she can.
Let's go.
Right, and one thing that she doesn't know, but my Christmas gift to her, and she's not watching the show right now, so I can say it on here. But I remember when I started going to Africa, like I told you, I would do a trip to Africa once a year. I would go to Ghana, South Africa, Johannesburg, these different places. And it's something that I love to do, right? And so she would ask me, like, how is it? And I said, I'm at peace when I go. And so I ended up doing the Ancestry.com. I went again. She asked me again. She said, it's always my dream to go to Egypt. It's like when I get my new kidney, I'm going to Egypt. And so for Christmas, I'm gonna get her tickets to go to Egypt.
Oh, that's cool, man.
I'm gonna take her to Egypt, and we're gonna go there for 10 days, a week to 10 days, and just go down there and do some exploring and let her enjoy life a little bit.
So that's awesome, man.
Hopefully you get that on video when you give it to her.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the moments, and then we'll talk about it. Obviously, more tomorrow. Great Christmas moments. So everybody, rack your brain on what you're looking forward to, or some great presents. I got a couple. I always have two in mind, and I'm going to save them for tomorrow. But two of the greatest.
I got one
presents
too.
ever
One of
got.
them's hockey themed too. You'll love it. You'll love it. It is. To this day, it's
None
the greatest.
of mine. I actually got 3. None of mine are hockey themed.
Yeah, but it was the greatest gift that I ever got. I was so hyped for it when I got it, man. It was through the roof. Speaking of Rack on our YouTube chat thread says Fish needs to be better tomorrow, and you know what? That's fair.
He will. You
I think
allow
Fish would be the first person to say that he's got to be better.
Rules, Fish. You know what? You make one mistake, and you know what? You just don't make it again. That's what champions do. Tune in tomorrow because Fish is going to bring it hard, hot, and heavy for the holiday season.
Ooh-wee. Appreciate everybody chiming in. Appreciate everybody.
You know, if I run bleachers up the pyramid, I will let you guys know. I'll take a video of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, appreciate everybody tapping in with Big D Energy here on Woodward Sports. For D-Mac, for Joik, for Fish, for Sawyer. My name is Neil Rule. Hit him with it.
Gang, gang.
Well, see you later.
Thank you, Detroit. Because of your generous donations, this year's Stuff a Studio was a massive success. With the help from our friends at Meyer, Guardian Alarm, and people like you, we were able to send a massive U-Haul filled with toys to Mott Children's Hospital.
I thought it was pretty cool, but more importantly, my daughter had surgery at Mott back in about 2005 for brain surgery. They did a miraculous job for her. As a matter of fact, she's graduated from Michigan State on Saturday. You could never
hey,
tell.
go green, right?
Thank you. And we really want to thank you. I know we're standing in front of this very large building, but when you look up, this building is full right now with a lot of sick kids that are going to be here through the holidays. And this team is amazing to make sure that they can at least smile during the holidays, and what you guys have done for us, we'll make sure that we're bringing that magic into their hospital room. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
It's now time for Pucking Around with 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty.
Takes that shot. McCarty. Darren McCarty has tied the game. He sure has.
Exclusively on the Woodward Sports Network. We are Detroit Sports.
What's up out there, sports fans? Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion, D-Mac for the Big D Energy. And it's time for Pucking Around. Now, in honor of the Christmas spirit, Sawyer and I decided to go through the naughty and nice of the first half of the season. And then we got to thinking about it. No way. We're going to stick with the nice. And what are the nice things that happened specifically in the first half of the season? Well, let's go to our rookies, our young guys. Yes, I'm talking about Lucas Raymond, Maurice Seider, and yes, the goaltender, Alex Nedeljkovic. Let's just see what Sawyer has for us today on what these kids can do. Lucas Raymond, obviously making a name for himself, right-hand shot, using that pure goal scorers. Shooting in stride, you can never use it. You look at him off to the side of the net in the power play we talk about. I think that, as you can see, right up there, if not battling Maurice Seider for Rookie of the Year honors. But you look at them on the power play, the way he can dish the puck, driving the net, different things like that. This first unit, whether they're on the power play with Tyler Bertuzzi and Dylan Larkin, I think that they're finding their way. You see that the way that Dylan Larkin's playing, but a huge part of that, head up all the way. Pure goal scorers, head up like that, finish it off, little stick twirl. Guys, trust me, pure goal scorers have that stick twirl, have that hindsight, have that mentality and stuff like this. Right there, the Dougie Brown knee drop. You see that? The Dougie Brown knee down. Nobody does it better right there, right-handed shot. What can you say about the kid? It's about staying healthy. It's about being consistent, and that's exactly what this guy's done. You look at right here, the way that these guys would be able to move it around no matter what against the best in the league. Then we turn it around, see them more on the power play, but different things to do, and you're looking into how he can score. Now let's move to Mo Sider. Bring back, because it's the physicalness. It's the fact of being able to play at the highest level and to use this in overtime, right? What's it like throwing a 19 or 20-year-old out on the 3-on-3? Well, when you have confidence in them, and I've mentioned it before, but a big part, head up, running through the power play, number 53, because of distribution, and also, too, he's got a heck of a shot, guys. He's got a pro shot. You look at the way they're able to distribute and stuff like this. This is all about confidence, and these guys not only are great in their own way, they also make everybody around them a lot better. So I don't know what else you could say. I draw the comparison where people always say you need two guys in the league. Back in the day, we had Yzerman, Fedorov. You look at even Datsuk, Zetterberg. Usually it's two guys that play on the same line, maybe even a defense pairing. In this case, for you guys, it's two rookies. Now let's look at Alex Nedeljkovic, who has made arguably 6 highlight reel saves. You watch him against St. Louis, I think probably one of his best, and it's the mobility, then the rebound and knowing where it is. And guys, these goalies practice this stuff, right? It's the never quit attitude. In goal, Mika Kiprasov, who I played with in Calgary, I used to stand in the corners when we'd be doing drills, and I'd throw pucks at the empty net, and he'd stand back there and try to knock them down. Now you look at probably one of the best saves of the year, all out. Yep, the never quit. And when you do not quit, young kids out there, no matter what it is, play till the whistle, no matter if you're a goalie, defenseman, never say die. Now you know that DeBrincat wanted to get more of that, but he didn't. And then, again, I got to ice it off with kick and score. Right-handed shot up there where Normie Bates keeps his mom. So, for Pucking Around, the Christmas edition, we are lucky here in Detroit with these 3 young guys. Give it up for Lucas Raymond, Moritz Seider, and Alex Nedeljkovic, and let's hope they continue to have a great season. They do. This is Darren McCarty, and this has been Pucking Around. Give me that biscuit. I'm going to bury that biscuit.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?